Welcome to Eccleston Piano Teacher. This video is considering the Yamaha e373. It's looking at the difference between it being a standard piano, where the full range, the full 61 keys, is used as you would on a standard upright acoustic piano. So the 5 buttons in particular I'm going to be looking at are the acmp, the intro ending, main autofill, sync start, and the start stop button, which we would use for the drums. So as soon as you activate these buttons, the keyboard will behave very differently compared to a standard piano. So firstly, the acmp on off, the accomp button. This tells the e373 to function in split mode, and you can change the split point. I've done a video about this. If your right hand melody goes quite low, below middle C, then you can alter the split point accordingly. But on the other hand, what you're doing with the left hand chords may want to be, see at that point, that A, it kicks in as functioning as a melody section note. But if you want that A there to function as a left-hand accompaniment note, as part of one of your chords, you need to alter that split point. The left-hand chord accompaniments will work together with the rhythms when the acmp is activated. When the acmp is active, you will see that indicated on the screen, looking like this. When you want to play as a traditional pianist, then keep the acmp switched off. So let's try one. Firstly, activate the style that you wish. So press the style button and make sure you've got the style that you wish. I'm going to go for 002 8-beat modern. Secondly, make sure acmp is activated. Thirdly, choose the tempo that you're after. For this one, it's default 92 beats per minute. I'm going to stick with that. Activate the intro ending button. You'll see how the screen changes to intro arrow B. And then I'm going to press the start stop button. And then in this case, I'm not going to add any left hand chords. So you can hear it ticking away there. You can also see on the screen there how it's got a countdown. -1, and it's into main B, the C chord, D minor, G, C chord, and applying the ending button. Now you can hear not just the harmonies, but also some sort of clarinet or saxophone melody over the top of it, which is pre-programmed. You cannot alter that. It's painting by numbers, really. You have to just accept what they give you if you use the intro ending button. Now we're going to do exactly the same thing again. This time I'm going to add left hand chords, so making sure acmp is activated, activating intro ending, and this time I'm going to use chords on the introduction. So -4, -3, -2 with a chord, C, D minor, G, and then the C. Intro ending. See, it's exactly the same. It's quite a chilled sort of ending to the song, and when it has finished the ending, you'll see that the screen returns to 002 8-beat modern. Main autofill. This button allows you 2 drum accompaniments for each style, A and B. For example, style 005, we'll have a listen to that in a minute. It's got 2 rhythms. The first one, A, is fairly simple, and the other one, B, slightly more elaborate. Now, in my opinion, one of the weaker aspects of the Yamaha e373 is that there's not much difference often between these 2 options, main A and main B. You've often got to add the left hand with acmp on in order to hear just how different they are. The main autofill doesn't just vary the drum kit rhythm, it also varies the left hand chordal accompaniment when acmp is activated, and this is actually where I think it's particularly stronger. With some styles you may hear a bigger difference between main A and main B than with other styles, and you certainly hear a bigger difference when the ACMP is activated, and this is a crucial bit, you play along with your left hand, adding some chords. This will frequently bring the rhythms, that's the styles, it will bring them alive more than is evident when you use the rhythms when only playing in piano mode, in other words when ACMP is not activated. There is a fill between A and B, and that fill is usually very short and not all that sophisticated. And it's the same when you go from main B back to main A, normally happening within one bar, in other words one measure. So let's try style 005, 8-beat. Now its default tempo is 160. It's a little bit fast for purposes today, so I'm going to take it down to 115. I'm also going to change the right hand melody to trumpet 114. It's a little bit more appropriate for the style accompaniment that comes out with 005. So here we go. With our left hand, and a C, G sus, C. And here's the ending here because I pressed intro ending. And the screen returns to the name of the style. So what do you make of that? In my opinion, there's not a great deal of difference between A and B in terms of what's happening with the rhythms or the left hand. But you will find that it pays to experiment with the different styles and using the left hand in particular in order to find those that are a little bit more varied in terms of what Yamaha has pre-programmed in their factories. Sync Start. This is another useful button. When activated, this tells the e373 to start the style rhythm only when your hand or hands hit the keys. Sync Start will work with or without ACMP, which is quite good. If you do not activate ACMP, the Sync Start will kick in as soon as your fingers hit the keys anywhere, for example quite high up, but also possibly quite low down. You might want to do that with a certain piano piece. So let's give this a shot. We're going to use style 090, which is country pop. No ACMP activated. Sync Start, you can see chevrons flashing there. The chevron on the left, the bigger one, indicates the first beat in the bar. So here it is, first of all, with the right hand kicking in. Now this time I'm going to set it up again, same style, country pop, but I'll activate it with the left hand. So Sync Start, you see the chevrons flashing away there, there's no ACMP. Kicking in, here it is with the left hand. Sync Start, of course, also works with ACMP, but the right hand, this time above the split point, wherever that might be, it's round about here on my keyboard, the right hand, when starting up here, will not activate it. So let's demonstrate that. ACMP is added. Sync Start. Now here it is with right hand. Nothing happening in terms of the rhythms. Now this time I'm going to bring in the left hand and the rhythm will start to join in. And finally the Start Stop button. This button can be used to simply start a rhythm, a style, without the use of the intro ending button if you don't want that intro. You simply want to go straight into the main A rhythm. If ending the use of a style rhythm with the start stop, you may need to be careful to time that carefully. It can sound crude and clumsy. Let's just give that a shot. That sounded okay, but you may need to think a little bit more carefully about when you're going to press that start stop button at which point, either perhaps a bar before you finish the piece, or you're going to let it run for a couple of bars after your hands have finished on the keyboard. If I just press that button again, you can see the chevrons there. See, in this case it's Viennese Waltz style 167. See, there's only 4 chevrons flashing this time, whereas if we go to a style 110, see, you've got 4 chevrons flashing there, indicating that this rhythm is clearly in 4/4 time. Somewhere on the e373 there's actually a style in 5/4 time. I wish I'd written down the number of that. It was a few days ago I discovered that. If you're interested in finding that 5/4 time, useful for things like Dave Brubeck, famous jazz pianist, 1 or 2 of his items, then drop a message in the comments. Okay, hope you've enjoyed this.